Let's go do the thing. I like to think of myself as a reasonably intelligent person. But even smart cookies like me can sometimes do stupid things. So to temper my usual persona of perfection, shut up, and probably make you feel better about yourself in the process, here's a few really dumb things I've done in my life. The first time I ever played Pokemon Blue version, which was the very first video game I ever owned at the tender age of, like, 7, I wandered around the player's house for a good hour because I couldn't figure out how to leave. On the topic of video games, I once sold my entire collection of N64 games to GameStop for very, very little money. Now, I was really young at the time, so GameStop essentially conned a child, but it was still pretty stupid of me to want to sell them in the first place. I cut my own hair that one time. It turned out well, didn't make it any less dumb. In 5th grade science class, my teacher asked a question to which I knew the answer, so I raised my hand to answer it, but the teacher called on another student. That student got it wrong, and this kept happening for a few more times, and then finally he got to me, and he said, well, I better call on Shabnam because it looks like she's gonna explode. Remember how I said in a previous video that I used to laugh at everything? I used to laugh at everything. Well, I started laughing uncontrollably, like for 10 minutes. I could not stop. I never did get to answer the goddamn question either. Okay, that's more embarrassing than it is stupid, but still. I lived at home in college. That was pretty stupid. I got my cartilage pierced at Claire's, that is with a piercing gun, even though I knew it wasn't safe just because everyone else was doing it and it didn't look like they were having any problems. Spoiler alert, problems were had. They were infected for like a year straight until finally one of them started to heal properly and the other one I just took out and let it close and it still hurts to this day, and don't do that. Speaking of piercings, I once tried to pierce my own ear with a sewing pin. After 2 hours of agonizingly trying to poke that little tiny needle through each layer of flesh, I finally got the needle all the way through, and then I took the needle out to put the jewelry in, and the hole it made was so tiny that it basically instantly closed, and all of that work was for nothing. Alex's older sister, so not Amanda, and her husband are avid wine drinkers. And the first time that I met them, I tried to keep up. I'm a lightweight. This was a bad decision. I got kind of really drunk, but apparently not drunk enough to forget all of the humiliating things that I divulged to these complete strangers that night. So that's fun. Know your limits, kids. And on that note, I think that's enough of me humiliating myself for one video. If you're as comfortable embarrassing yourself on the internet as I am, please share with me some of the stupidest you've done in your life so that I can feel better about myself. Peace, love, geekdom, goodbye.